to the channel, guys. I just want to say thank you for all the love and support on this channel and the other channel. We have reached 1,000 subscribers officially on Nate and Elise Extras, and there's still time. Friday, November 15th, we will be picking a winner for our ball giveaway on the other channel. So make sure you're over there. Check out the Theorem Pearl first 10 video where you can figure out how to get your name into that entry. Thank you so much for the support and helping us get to 1,000 as fast as we did on that second channel. And today we have a special one. This one is pretty cool because if you guys haven't already checked out the Raptor Rush videos that we have on this channel and our other channel, I am very impressed with this ball. I haven't been able to throw it as much yet actually out in tournament play. As you guys know, I haven't been bowling as much, but I am super excited to see how it looks on some other patterns. But today we are bowling on the typical house shot again, and we are going to see the difference in how it compares to the new Primal Rage Evolution. It should be a little bit of a step down from what I'm seeing, but it'll be really cool to do a one-on-one game comparison to see where they really fit in on this house shot. So let's get into it. This isn't quite fresh house shot, but it is still pretty fresh. We got a decent amount of oil. There's not so much wet dry. This should give us a pretty good comparison of what each of these is going to do. All right, tug that a little bit. We should just literally have one little clip of me saying tug that a little bit so we can just clip it in there. I don't have to say that anymore on this channel. That's probably what we're gonna do from now on. But it's still dug. For the sake of this, we're gonna get some free spares on this channel today. We're not going to be picking up spares. We're just trying to see what these balls do. So free spare day right here. 9 spare, baby. Okay, for right now, we're just going to be standing in the same spot with the Raptor Rush that I did with the Primal Rage Evolution. Okay, a little bit smoother than I thought it was going to be. It does seem like this ball likes to get to the friction. It still wants to dig through it, but I do need to get it to that friction spot down lane. So instead of adjusting and moving right first, I'm going to just adjust my launch angles and trying to get it to the friction a little bit quicker. What I do notice is that the Primal Rage Evolution is giving me a little bit more length, which is what you typically want. The Raptor's reading a little bit more in the mid lane, which is good because it means it's going to dig a little bit more in the heavier patterns that I do bowl in or heavier volumes. But so far, if I was going to have to compete on this particular lane for competition, I would probably throw the Primal Rage Evolution as it's just giving me a little less over under so far. We're only 2 shots in, but let's just see. Yeah, as you can see, it's just getting a little bit forward, a little bit quicker than the Primal Rage Evolution. I don't know if you guys can tell, they are striking, but they're both striking a little bit differently. As you can see with the Primal Rage Evolution, I'm getting that late tap 10 out, which is kind of telling me it's getting a little bit further down the lane, a little bit more behind the head pin, versus the Raptor Rush that's kind of getting closer to the head pin, giving me that 5 into the 7, which just is telling me that I'm getting a little bit more smooth, controllable reaction out of the Raptor Rush versus the Primal Rage Evolution, which is good. That's going to benefit me on more sport patterns versus, for me personally, I would have to see a lot of dry with the Primal Rage Evolution to get my ball to do the right thing. Okay, I dropped that a little bit, rolled it. Deserved the 10 pin. Oh yeah, I got that. Got that to the dry. This is why I really do actually like this ball, is that as you saw, I really got it to the dry and it got there. Yes, I left a 4-pin, but it didn't overreact to the point where I got a big 4, which is what I want. I want something that when I do make a mistake like that, I'm still looking at a 4-pin versus a 6 count. You guys already know what my adjustment's about to be. What is it? Throw it better. That's the best adjustment you can have in bowling. Just throw it better. That was better. Okay, even though I physically threw it better off my hand, it was still a little bit inside target, which gave me that look. If I was starting a tournament right now and I was in practice, if I was seeing the reaction I have right now, this is when a surface adjustment is going to do me a lot of good. Now, both balls look pretty good. I'm getting to the pocket, I'm getting 9, but just that little bit of surface on the bowling ball for me with balls like this is going to give me that little bit of mid-lane hook that I need, and it would go through the pin. So what we're gonna do, since we're halfway through, we're going to show this live. I'm going to hit both of the bowling balls with 2000 and see if it can give me a better reaction down lane. I will say, I see this a lot, where someone gets a new bowling ball, they're in a tournament, they're like, okay, I got this new bowling ball, they're not really getting the reaction they want. It's called use a surface pad. Not all the time, but most of the time if you're hitting the pocket and you just have a kind of over-under reaction, sometimes it's just really the surface that's not matching quite your game to what you're bowling on. Now, I might not leave them at this, like let's say I see a lot of friction to the right. I might now put it back down with some polish on it, but for right now where I'm not seeing the blended friction to the right is where this surface should come in handy, and we should have a better carry percentage with the surface I have on the bowling ball. You guys might notice I did use a 500. Now, this is what is super important with surface pads, is that obviously as you use them, they wear down. So now this one it is a 500 pad, but realistically now with how much it's been used, it's like a 2000. It's not as gritty. So just keep that in mind, that a used 500 is not necessarily throw it away. You can use it for other purposes like this when you are trying to get that higher surface once it's been used. Okay, I'm not going to move. Stay the same with that little bit of surface adjustment. Perfect. Still could have thrown it better, but as you saw, got that late tap out on the 10, which means my ball reaction is already better. I need to stop throwing this ball in because it doesn't want to do that. It wants to go to the right. Again, still got a 10 pin. I still need to throw it better as the bowler. There we go, yes. Yes, I like that reaction. Now, as you can see, with that surface change, I'm now preferring the Raptor Rush over the Primal Rage Evolution if I was to be bowling for score on this pattern. Now that I got the right surface, this is where this ball is a little bit different. I'm going to move 2 and 1 to the right, just to give this ball a little bit more time to hook in the back part of the lane. There we go. As you can see, it's starting to rev up a little bit quicker, which I didn't say. I wanted to test it. Not so I could lie and say later, but I would have told you after, but I did go ahead and make another 1 and 1 left, just so that way I can give myself a little bit more room, so when I do tug it in with that surface, hopefully it's still gonna dig through the oil, and then I still have that room to the right, which you saw. So right now I'm about 4 and 2 different between the bowling balls. Yeah, which is great. Now I have 2 different options. As you can see, my ball is getting to the right part of the break point that I need to have the right reaction with both of the bowling balls. But now I'm about 5, almost a whole arrow with my feet difference with the bowling balls. Just to see what we can do, I'm gonna move another 2 and 1. I'm pretty high flush in the pocket, so if I move another 2 and 1 with the Raptor Rush, I should still be able to get a 5 into the 7 look and still have the high flush look if I get it quicker to the friction. There we go, perfect. So now I'm about 7 boards deeper than I was to start with the Raptor Rush. You know what, let's test it the other way. Let's see how, I'm gonna move another 2 and 1 right with the Primal Rage and see if it still gives me that further launch angle with the controllable back end. As always, shout out to Turbo for always supplying me with the stuff I need to do videos like this. The switch grip is a lifesaver. If you guys don't know about interchangeable thumbs, I'm able to switch between each ball, having the same fit, having no issues. If you guys aren't new to this channel, you know that my fit likes to give me issues sometimes, just based on what's going on in my life, you know, the audacity. Turbo always has given me the most comfortable fit. I've been with them long before I had this YouTube channel, long before I've done anything in my career. So I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Now back to business. I am moving that 2-in-1 further to the right. My thumb is sweating, so I'm going to use my turbo puffer right now. Got to get some rosin on my thumb. So what happens when I'm jabbering too much. Now for this, I do need to bump up my speed a tiny bit, as I do throw it a little bit slower, but to get through the front part of the lane, I'm gonna need some speed. Still actually pretty close. Again, for me, that's not where I would typically be as a player, how I am. Slower speed, I have a little bit more hook in the front part of the lane, but as you can still see, it still gave me that length and hook, and it was pretty close. If I was able to bump up my speed, not even half a mile an hour more, that would have struck. Someone with higher speed is really going to like the Primal Rage Evolution, where you can stay on top of the friction a little bit more like I am there, but also get in as the lanes transition and still have that downlane motion and enough hook in the back end. Okay, sent it to the friction. That is like a picture perfect reason why I love this ball. I sent that so far to the friction so quick, and with my speed, that could easily go wrong very quickly, but very controllable. It didn't get offline. I sent it offline. Not that I wasn't trying to do that. Again, on a house shot, you have room to miss to the right, but this is what I'm looking for on a house shot ball, is that I can send it in. It's still gonna get through the 1-2 properly. I'm lefty now. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I'm thinking like a lefty now. But anyways, yeah, as it gets into the 1-3, it was still heavy into the 8-9, still splitting the 8-9, and now I can set it to the right, not getting offline, still splitting the 8-9. That's great ball reaction. Now that we tried a little bit right, let's stand on the same spot we are with the Raptor Rush and see what the ball gives us. Still gave us a decent amount. As you saw, it was a little bit quicker off the back end. It did store the energy. Again, it's not quite what I would want. I'm gonna throw another one and we're gonna see if I get similar reaction, but I see that motion a little bit too quick down lane for what I need, because I know my misses are typically left. Now, if your misses are typically right, that's something you want to see, but for me, with my misses left, that's like the last thing I want to see, is my ball just getting offline really quick down lane with a ball. Now, if this had more built-in down lane friction and I could get further left, I would love that, because it's going to blend out and lose a little bit more energy. But for right now, I still prefer the Raptor Rush. As you saw, the red ball, a little bit better in front of the lane for me versus the Raptor Rush. I can get a little bit deeper, gives me a little bit more room to play with, and through my entry angle to the pocket. Tail was a little bit higher than that. Didn't expect it to hook too much down lane, because as your tilt gets higher, the ball does get further down the lane. It does read in the friction a little bit quicker, but that's not always the best. You don't want so much in the launch angle that your ball is only seeing the friction. But we can't make them. That was Nate, by the way, shooting from the back of the lane, but we can't make them when we're at the foul line. That's the life of being a professional bowler. Thank you guys for watching this. As you can see, both of these balls are amazing. I do really like them. It's just about where you want to play in the lane. Something can be said about bowling balls that can be useful for many styles, which both of these balls can be. If I wanted to play a little bit straighter, I can do that with the Primal Rage Evolution. And if I want to get in a little bit more, wheel it a little bit more, the Raptor Rush would be the ball for that. Now, like I said, if you have a higher speed, both of these could work a little bit further right. The Raptor Rush blends in enough, as you can see with my slower speed. Obviously, if you have a higher rev rate, if you want to get in, both of them blend the wet dry very well for house shot, those medium patterns with higher volume, or those longer patterns with lower volume. Both of these balls are going to be a good balance between the two. I would say if you have a little bit slower ball speed, the Primal Rage Evolution is going to be the ball that you would want to get for your typical house shot. And if you have a little bit higher speed, you like to hook it a little bit more, you like to use more of the lane, and you do have a little bit more oil on the lane for a house shot, the Raptor Rush is going to be the ball for you. All in all, both of them are great bowling balls. Thank you to Motiv for giving me the opportunity to showcase this to you guys. As always, let us know down below what you guys think. We try to get back to all the comments. If you have any questions on either of these bowling balls, where they might fit in your arsenal, leave those comments below. We try to get back to every single one of you guys. We cannot thank you guys enough, and we will see you guys on the next video.